welcome to a John Legg fragrance review. Do you know what? I'm so pleased you've come to this channel. Do you know what you're going to get at this channel? Okay, if you're new to it, let me explain. You're going to get the warmest ever welcome, and you're going to get an enthusiastic, fun approach to fragrance. Yes, I may tell a few stories, but I don't talk to you about barcodes and sprayers and packaging. You know what? This one actually involves a story, so let's go. Right, I was at work the other day. One of my colleagues came in behind me and he said, right, Leggy, I've got a challenge for you. He said, don't look, keep looking forward. So I was looking forward. Then he grabbed my arm and he splashed this fragrance all down my arm. He says, right, you've got to guess what it is. I was smelling it. I was thinking, I know this fragrance. I'm kind of familiar with it, although I haven't smelt it for a long time. After about a minute, I said to him, I'm thinking it's maybe Chanel. I sort of looked around and he was like completely expressionless. He said, I'm not going to give you anything, Leggy. I says, well, tell me what sort of era it's from. And he went, no, Leggy, you're getting nothing. Carried on smelling, and after a couple of minutes I went, I think I know what it is. And I turned around to him and I said, is it Chanel Allure, the original? And he just went, he says, how do you do it, Leggy? You're good. Okay, he had splashed on my arm Chanel Allure Homme, the original, the 1999 version. Right, now the reason why I'd splashed it, and I didn't know they did it, is that it was a splash on. It's not the spray, so it's the aftershave. So it's not as strong as the Eau de Toilette. That's probably why it took me a little bit longer to work out what it was. But do you know what? Once I got it, I was like, oh man, I love this fragrance. For me, it's an absolute wow fragrance. So, let me take you back, another story. Let me take you back to the year 1999, and the whole world's population lived in fear of a bug. But this time it wasn't coronavirus, it was the Y2K bug, it was the millennium bug. And we were told by the experts, you know what, we would wake up on January the 1st in the year 2000 and things like our toaster wouldn't work and our wristwatch wouldn't work and anything with a computer in our car wouldn't start, the microwave wouldn't cook food. We were scared stiff about this millennium bug. In the year 1999, Chanel launched Allure. And do you know what? It's, for me, a wow fragrance. Because although it was launched in the 90s, does it smell like a 90s fragrance? Let's splash it on and let's talk you through. Splash on, so it's not spray. You have to be careful. Right. If I had to summarise this fragrance in just 2 words, it would be timeless elegance. Right, let me try and tell you roughly what it's going to smell like if you've never smelt Chanel Allure before. The standout notes are a beautiful orange, sort of citrus note, a beautiful sort of cedar wood note, a beautiful vanilla note, and then what gives it, for me, the wow factor is the tonka bean. And it's blended in such a way that there are no joins. In other words, it's creamy, it's smooth, it is just an amazing scent. Right, so it was launched in 1999. Does it at all smell 90s? No, not at all. Does it at all smell like something your granddad would wear? No. Does it smell like something you would be very confidently able to wear in the year 2021? Yes. You know what? This is over 20 years old and it's still a wow fragrance. There is a downside to it though. And this is the reason why I had a bottle in the past, but I haven't replaced it. Because what Chanel have done is they've reformulated it and it's kind of lost all its power. It's lost its sort of projection, it's lost its longevity, and I don't know what they've done, whether they've watered it down slightly. It still smells the same, but if you get 25-30 minutes out of a spray of the current 2021 version, you're doing well. So what age group could wear this? You know what, I would say from the age of 20 right up to the grave, basically. This is amazing. And the thing is, you know what, if you were to smell other 90s fragrances, trust me, you would say they're a bit dated, they're very 90s. This one, seriously, and I've done it, I've sprayed it, I've splashed it on a few people at work, and I said, you know what year is that from? And they just go, don't know. It's current, maybe. It really isn't. Over 20 years old, and it's still, for me, a wow fragrance. If Chanel hadn't reformulated it, I would currently have a bottle. But here's the beautiful story. About a week later, the guy at work, this legend colleague called Paulos, gifted it to me. So I now have Chanel Allure, the original, my favourite Allure. You know what? Because Allure was so successful, there was quite a few. You got Allure Sport Extreme, which basically they sort of smash a load more tonka in there. And then you had another one called Allure Blanche Edition, which basically they just smashed a load of lemon over the top of it. But for me, the best Allure is the original one, except for its current performance. But if you can get a vintage bottle from the sort of late 99, sort of maybe a few years on, that is the best Allure by far. And Paulos, you are a legend gifting me this, because you know you couldn't give me a better gift, and I love this stuff to bits, and I will treasure this. Okay, so what season could you wear it? You know, completely versatile. What setting? You know what, you could wear this every day of your life and it would fit that setting. Whether you were going to work, or whether you were going to a wedding, whether you're going to the gym, it doesn't matter. This stuff is just loved. Okay, no one will ever dislike or think that's the wrong sort of fragrance to be smelling like at this particular setting. It's just completely versatile. And the guy who sort of perfumed it in 1999 must have been forward planning, because it was like the bridge between the 90s and the current generation. Because let's face it, there's quite a lot of tonka in there, which gives it the wow factor for me. How many fragrances these days now have tonka in them? Do your research. They mostly have tonka, and when they bring out a special edition of a current fragrance, basically they just stick a load of tonka on top. And that really was started by Allure by Chanel. So if you would kindly give me a thumbs up, and if you would kindly subscribe, I would be grateful, I'd be honoured, and I'd be so pleased. So hopefully you've perhaps seen a little bit of Chanel history. Hopefully you've maybe had an idea of something you could purchase, and hopefully you'll go away with a smile on your face and an inspiration to spray that fragrance every day. Stay safe, take care, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.